Hi, welcome to Gene Rants, and today I'm going to do something that I don't usually do, though I do it occasionally, which is help our liberal friends if they have a problem. And the problem I'm going to help them with today is the cancellation of Stephen Colbert, his TV show on CBS. Now, I I was going to say, if you've been watching this vlog for a while, you know, but I'm going to tell you right now, in case you didn't know, I'm a conservative. So, as a conservative, to be, full disclosure, a conservative would have to have a heart of stone not to enjoy not the cancellation of the show, which I'll get to in a moment, but the gnashing of the teeth, the wailing of the women, this tearing out of the hair over the cancellation of this one talk show host. And they don't, the part of it is their problem with capitalism. Okay, now they can be sad because that the show was losing $40 million a year, and I guess blame the public, blame us for not watching enough so that advertisers would advertise. That's where the money comes from. It doesn't grow on trees, my liberal friends. You need advertisers to buy ads, and obviously that's not happening enough to make the show break even, let alone be profitable. So that is why. And keep in mind also, they're not replacing Colbert. All right. So that's another myth that they apparently, or another conspiracy theory, I guess you would call it, that Trump pressured CBS and that's why they fired Colbert. Never mind that they were losing $40 million. They would now replace Colbert with somebody who would be more like a Jay Leno, just tell, which is what these talk shows used to be, just light humor and having celebrities on and just a humorous banter. And if you're as old as I am, you remember those shows, Johnny Carson, Jay Leno. So and Jay Leno's rule was, and Johnny Carson's, stay out of politics. I mean, you could rib politicians, but do it in a good-natured way and rib whoever happens to be in office. All right. So obviously that rule got lost, and it led to Colbert's cancellation. Now, but I'm not. I'm not celebrating that he's canceled, and that's what I want to get to. If as I said, at least a conservative would have to have a heart of stone not to enjoy how crazy and unhinged the left is becoming over this, what I would consider, just a cancellation of a show. Big deal. I mean, I was unhappy when Star Trek got canceled, the original series, but, life goes on. But about this idea of that he is off the air and they can't cope with it, I want to help. As I was saying, that the conservative would have to have a heart of stone not to enjoy the angst over this firing. But because we conservatives don't have a heart of stone, we also have feelings, sympathy for and even pity for our friends on the left who are going crazy over this. We want them to have a productive life. And so I have a solution, very simple solution. It's been shown to work in the past, and it's so simple. I don't know why it hasn't been done yet, but very simply, let's look at Conan O'Brien. Okay, perfect example. He took over when Jay Leno left the Tonight Show. I think Conan O'Brien was replaced him, but anyways, at one point Conan O'Brien was on after Jay Leno, and when Jay Leno left, and they moved Conan O'Brien's slot up to replace, come on an hour earlier to replace Jay Leno. He was on there, and then for whatever reason, I have no idea, I didn't follow it. He left NBC, and then he went to another station, which I think was CBS, and from there he might have gone to the Comedy Channel. So I know he went somewhere else, but I'm not sure. The point is, Colbert, he can just go somewhere else. That's all. There are other networks out there. I've never watched an entire show, Colbert show, but I have watched clippings, video clippings on YouTube or whatever, or on a news show. And he would be perfect for MSNBC. He could replace Jen Psaki is on MSNBC, and I don't think that she's doing very well. I don't think her ratings are very good. I could be wrong on that, but replace her with Stephen Colbert, move her to another slot, or just take her off the air completely since she's not making money, or replace Karine Jean-Pierre, who also I understand is not doing that great. I don't know who's doing that great actually on that station, but anyways, if they're losing money and keeping these people on the air, then they would be happy to have Colbert on there and continue to lose money. Obviously not a problem for them, and who knows, they might even make money. I understand. My recollection is that Rachel Maddow, when she was on 5 days a week, that her show was profitable. But that's one solution. Put him, Colbert, on MSNBC. Very simple. And a lot of these talking heads on MSNBC are they're part of this group. They're tearing their hair out over Colbert's cancellation. So they should be very happy to have him join MSNBC. And even if they, because it seems to be so important to them, sacrifice their time slots and bring him on. Now, but there's another solution. So solution number 2, which is Colbert. How did he get his start? He got his start on the Comedy Channel as a guest on, or a guest commentator or whatever. He had a little segment on Jon Stewart's show, and the Jon Stewart, I think he's just on, he left completely, and then the Comedy Channel, whoever replaced him, not doing that well, and now he's back every Monday, I think, still not doing so well. So what about the other 4 days? Bring Colbert back. He was on the Comedy Channel. Give him, and maybe Jon Stewart, I understand the new show, or his segment now, his every Monday segment, is not doing that well. He's got lots of money, and maybe, I suspect they kind of pushed or coerced or begged him to come back, because the Comedy Channel was that time slot was failing without him, and brought him back. He might be happy to leave, but that's another solution. Find a place for him, wherever it is, on the Comedy Channel. That's where he was in the first place. So, my liberal friends, it's very simple. Write to MSNBC, write to Comedy Channel, and urge them to, well, you love boycott, so just say, well, I'm not going to watch MSNBC until you hire Colbert. I'm not going to watch the Comedy Channel until you hire Colbert. See, very simple. And these campaigns do work. Take Star Trek. Now, it was canceled after 3 seasons. The original Star Trek, the best, to my, Spock and McCoy. That was the best one. DeForest Kelley and William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy. That was the chemistry among the characters. That was the real selling point of the show for me. But anyways, they tried to cancel it actually after either the second season, I believe it was, and a flood, a tsunami of letters came, convinced the Desilu, that was the studio, Desilu, to give Star Trek another season. Now, it was only 1 season, and I understand the budgets were lower, so they didn't have the sets were, not that the sets were that fancy anyhow, let's be honest, but that's, well, part of it, I mean, they didn't have CGI and all that, so some of the effects and everything were not that great. They were great for the time, though. I mean, I never missed an episode of the original Star Trek when I was a youngster, and I thought it was really fantastic. I mean, I never missed an episode of Commando Cody, if anybody remembers that, on in the 50s, and really cheesy effects. Anyways, there's your solution. There are plenty of places for Stephen Colbert to be put back on the air, and there's also PBS, public broadcasting. Now, they may not get funded by the government anymore, but they Big Bird, they make a lot of money from Big Bird, Sesame Street, but there are also it's basically the George Soros channel. I've listened to NPR. Not them. It's on my car radio. I check in with it every once in a while, and it's always the same old, same old. Liberal, either just straight out politically liberal, well, I was going to say balderdash. I'll say commentary, okay, to be nice, because as a conservative, I do have a heart. Characterize what's on NPR or however you want, or PBS. But, well, that's another thing. He could have a podcast, right? What's wrong with a podcast? He could be on Sirius, not serious like being serious. I mean, SIRIUS, the radio network, the broadcast radio network. So there are many places for him to go. And I mentioned the podcast. He's got plenty of money. I mean, they were paying him, what, $12 million a year or something. He's got plenty of money to start his own podcast. You buy a microphone for a couple $100. You buy this little mixer. It's about this big. That's another couple $100, and bang, you're on the air. So, or on the podcast. So all of these solutions, I am so happy to help my liberal friends. I don't often get a chance to do that. So this was an opportunity to do that. And you can see I'm smiling here. I am so happy. I hope I made your lives better, that Stephen Colbert, he doesn't have to, it's up, if he doesn't come back, if he doesn't get on a network, let's say on MSNBC or Comedy Channel, then the obvious two conclusions are, number one, he didn't want to do it. Number two, the networks didn't want him because they thought they would lose money on him, and they don't want to lose money either. So there you go. But as I said, there's always that podcast. He can do it at his own expense. And well, look how it worked out for Joe Rogan. I believe he got a contract for $100-something million. So, and I don't know how many years that is. Megyn Kelly, she makes a blank load of money, right, on her podcast. No, she's on Sirius network. So she's doing so well, actually, that she started her own, I don't know if you call it a network or whatever, but I know Mark Halperin is on it. I forgot what she's calling it, but she started her own, or a sub network, whatever. Anyways, all these, I've gone on enough. I mean, I'm sure you get the point, my liberal friends. That's all. He can be on the air, all right. There is some place for him to be on the air. And I wish him all the luck in the world, okay? I wish him all the luck in the world on, Tucker Carlson. He's doing much better than he did when he was on Fox. I mean, I can't stand the guy, but he's undeniably doing well on his own podcast, the Tucker Carlson Show. So why not a Stephen Colbert Show? He's doing very, very well. And it'll be sink or swim, basically. Oh, Chris Cuomo, he was on CNN. Now he has a podcast. Don't know how it's doing, but he can be on the air, and then how well he does will depend on you liberals out there. You're whether you'll be an audience for him and watch him or listen to him, as the case may be. And that's it for today. Thanks for stopping by. I hope, now that I help my liberal friends, that my liberal friends will, and you conservatives, to subscribe. Okay, I could always use more subscribers, and your comments are always welcome in the comment section below the video. Share this video with anyone you think would benefit from it. But most of all, come back and see me again. I'd love to see all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.